Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic today. Today we're going to read you a little book. I acquired a Wizards of the Coast employee handbook that we're going to take a look together, and we're just going to read it and take a look. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video, a little bit of a different video today, a little bit of story time. We're going to go through the Wizards of the Coast employee handbook. So yeah, I'm not going to get into how I got this. But somebody did send it to me, and I don't really know what's in it. I haven't really looked through it because I like doing this content live. So here we go. Employee handbook. This would be for Dungeons and Dragons. Mine has, it looks like the back page didn't get glued, but this would be for Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering. We'll see what kind of dates are on this too, in terms of what year it is from. I guess there's not a date on the front page. You would have thought that down there there would be a date, but there's not. So table contents: legendary games, lifelong adventures. We create entertainment that inspires creativity, sparks passion, forges friendship, and fosters community around the globe. Our games seek to harness the boundless energy and imagination of our players. Every pursuit, it is our mission to inspire lifelong love for games. So we're going to talk about how to be legendary, how to build a well-rounded crew, delve into dungeons, don't split the party, and it takes a multiverse. So yeah, interesting, really cool artwork on this. I did kind of like just thumb through it, but I didn't really look through it. What you didn't know: Wizards of the Coast has its own adventuring guide. Of course we do. So it's just this little adventuring guide. For this guide is a brief introduction to the principles that got us where we are today, making genre defining games. That's a great point. You know, Magic and D&D are genre defining games, and as much as we like to criticize Wizards, they certainly do define the industry. So yeah, millions of players around the world. Are you ready for the adventure to begin? All right, be legendary. Cool artwork in this whole thing. Again, I don't know, there's no dates on here. For some reason I thought I remember seeing 2018, but I don't know. The fantasy genre was shaped by our games, and that is something to be very proud of. Every card we make, every adventure we pen, and the quest we code is part of the half-century long tradition of excellence. Interesting. So every card we make, adventure we pen, so it's Magic and D&D, card we make, adventure we pen, and quest we code. So they are putting in their digital clients right off the bat on the Be Legendary. Look at that artwork too. That's got to be, I don't know what that artwork's from. That's cool. We recognize part of building a legacy is understanding how we can improve. It's up to us to shepherd our games into the future, and we'll always keep our eyes and ears open for ways to level up our properties. They have the Christopher Rush Black Lotus down there. We recognize part of building a legacy is understanding how we can improve. Interesting choice in the card down there. All right, Wizards of the Coast. This must be their legacy. Peter Atkins founds Wizards of the Coast. For his first few years, the company operates out of Peter's basement. That's awesome. Then Richard Garfield began working on Magic the Gathering. Inspired by playing cards and trading cards, players compete with decks built by selecting cards from larger pools. If you guys didn't know, there's also supposed to be something that was just done in between D&D sessions. Magic debuted at the Origins Game Fair. The entire print run sells out within a month. Reminds you of indie TCGs, right? All these indie TCGs. 1 billion Magic cards were sold. Wow, that's fast. That's crazy. 12 expansion sets are released for the first 14 months alone. Over 60 more have followed. That's crazy. That's a lot. That's a super fast release cycle. First Magic Pro Tour was in 96. Players qualified by calling a hotline. That's awesome. 97, Wizards purchased TSR, publishers of Dungeons and Dragons. One of their best moves. At some point in here, they'll do Pokemon too. Hasbro's acquired Wizards of the Coast in 99. Interesting. So I think the Pokemon license would have been, because they released in 99, the Pokemon license it's missing from in here. They don't like that to be part of their legacy. You know, it was a big part of their success, to be honest. All right, Magic with My Little Pony. Now we have the stuff. All right, where we at? What's the next one? This is like an awkward page here. Magic Online debuted. Yeah, that's crazy. It's been over 20 years since Magic Online. That's something to think about. The game's 4 successful versions connected players on an unprecedented scale, with over 10 million matches played since version 3. Duel Masters, I guess they couldn't track it in version 1 and 2. Why did it start tracking at version 3? Duel Masters began in Japan. Becomes one of Japan's premier trading card games. You've got Magic publishing its 10,000th unique card in 2008. And since then, since 2020, we've probably done another 10,000. Approximately 1,000 cards are added every year. This must be old because it's got to be more than that now. put out 1,000 cards a week these days. All right, 5th Dungeons and Dragons is released, 5th edition. That's 2014. Man, that's almost 10 years old. That's crazy. Sparking a surge in popularity. That's probably true. It also, surge in popularity was also due to Stranger Things. Magic the Gathering launched on Arena. Man, I wish they did code cards. All right, Archetype Entertainment formed. I don't know about this. And Turk Games acquired. Breaking new entertainment vectors. Wizards creates a new studio in Austin, Texas, and brings Turk Games into the Wizards family. Interesting. I know nothing about that. I don't know what we should look into that at some point. And then the first Mythic Invitational. So this stops at 2020 or 2019. So this must have come out in like 2019, 2020. This must be pre-pandemic Wizards of the Coast employee handbook. Build a well-rounded crew. All right, we're going to get into the greatest adventuring parties cover all their bases. Fighters rush out front. Wizards shoot spells from the back. Clerics heal the wounded, and rogues sneak into the target. Heroic quests are successful because of the party's diversity. Our collective adventuring party must be the same, bringing different viewpoints to the table and complementing their companions' different skill sets. Hopefully they evaluate content creators and respect their opinions and take all that stuff into consideration too. Because in companies you can really get into the when you have a company the size of Hasbro or Wizards, you can often get into echo chambers. But building the party isn't one and done event. We hold ourselves accountable to always ask what we can do to better strengthen our team through inclusivity and equality. I think that's supposed to say equality. This is equity, right? And to treat every member of our party as the expert they are. Okay, we believe that the great names are built for a wide variety of players, and this means it takes a broad range of backgrounds and lived experiences to design for an inclusive player base. That's good. That's fair. I mean, like, I hope they have young, old, all types of, different people from different backgrounds. That's healthy. Delve into the dungeons. Okay, let's do it. Oh, look at that artwork. Pretty sick. I don't know if this is popping up super good on camera, but we'll see. Nothing ignites a wizard's passion like a murky, dingy dungeon teeming with secret traps and a plethora of monsters. It brings a flutter to our hearts just to think about it. If a challenge seems daunting, that means it's worth facing. Dungeons are dangerous and packed with all kinds of monsters and threats. You don't get to the other side by charging in. You get there by paying attention to your surroundings, listening to others for advice, and using creativity to find clever solutions. That's a good motivational speech for a company employee handbook, I think. That's fair. That's good. They're really leaning into the tropes, though. Break every chest. Upturn every barrel. The right answer is rarely the one you first try. And remember, no matter how intimidating the challenge, whether it's the Tomb of Horrors or budgeting for next year, you'll get through by exploring options alongside a team that has your back. really pumping the team effort here. Don't split the party. Is that a Johnny? Didn't they kill him off now? So, like, don't split the party, but we're going to kill the guy that we put... anyway, all right. Adventures can be complicated, and sometimes it isn't obvious which route through the dungeon is the correct one. It's natural for normal for a party to disagree about what is best. The sorcerer might want to slay the dragon, while the druid wants to negotiate. The fighter want to go in alone, but the bard wants to gather reinforcements. It's no surprise, but splitting the party isn't a solution. They just should have read, instead of making this whole book, they should have just given everybody who moves the cheese, right? It's a book. It's a corporate book. Anyway, splitting the party isn't the solution. Working together to find the best route is. Tabletop-inspired games are collaborative. You don't win by overruling the others at the table. Every opinion is welcomed, and we love a healthy discussion, and when it's time to move forward, we do so together. I hope that's true. Listen, that's good stuff. I hope that's true at Wizards. It takes a multiverse. Cool. It's a privilege to have the fan base we do. That is the truest thing they have said here. The fan base is massive, and they should respect it immensely. They aren't just players, but content creators. Hey, that's us. Artists, performers, collectors. Hey, that's us. Writers and makers. We owe our success, past and future, to them. That's true. Our games have introduced partners and friends, taught math and social skills to kids, facilitated countless parties, and become the touchstone of a long-lasting relationships for decades. I love all the people who like say they got married because of Magic the Gathering, like they met their spouse and that stuff. That stuff's so cool. That is so cool. All right, when times are most frightening and people need human connection the most. Did they know the pandemic was about to happen? They knew. They knew. Wizards knew. When times are most frightening and people need human connections the most, we are there to help them, remind them that lividity exists in our world and to provide that moment of escape. We have a duty to listen to their feedback, research and test what works best, and always try to do better for our fans. You know, they have gotten much better in the last year. That is fair. That's it. That's the employee handbook. You are now trained to be a Wizards of the Coast employee. There's nothing else. There's some black pages here. There's nothing else. You are now trained to be a Wizards of the Coast employee. And yeah, wild. So, some just thoughts. I think this is cool. I think it's obviously like a motivational thing to like encourage creativity, encourage, you know, not fighting amongst each other and working together to accomplish things. There's nothing juicy in here, nothing super spicy. It's pretty cool though, to see kind of the heart of Wizards, at least up until 2019. It would be very interesting to hear from Wizards employees and see how this is actually implemented and what has changed since the pandemic, because Magic has changed a lot since 2019. A lot of the biggest issues that the community currently has been things that have ignited since the pandemic and since removing of different stuff and things in the pro tours and that kind of stuff. So it would be really interesting to see an employee handbook from today, but also to hear from Wizards employees about what things have changed. So if you're a Wizards employee, let me know in the comment section, I guess. You guys have yourselves a great day. Be kind to the people around you. We will see you again next video.